Oh my gosh. Thanks so much out there. My name is Jeff Fritz, and I'm back here at the live desk. I'm with Kendra Havens.
Hello.
To discuss how to write beautiful code, faster code with Visual Studio 2019.
Definitely. I'm so excited to show some stuff.
Oh my gosh. Some of the things that you've already shown as part of the event here, really great stuff. I love using on my live stream. What kinds of things can we talk about here today?
Oh my gosh, should I just dive in?
Can we dive in?
Okay, let's switch to my screen. So the first thing that I want to call out is vertical tabs. This is major, right? It was the #1 Visual Studio Developer Community feedback item, and we got it in. So when I hit OK.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll hit OK.
Yeah.
Okay, boom, there it is. Okay.
Okay, wait a sec.
So with developers getting in wider and wider screens, we have a lot of extra horizontal space, and we want to get back just that smidgen of vertical space at the top that we were using for tab management. So now, putting all of our tabs on our vertical side, we still have document groups and all of that management that we like. I can set my tab layout to the right. I can right-click and set it back up to the top. Again, you got to turn on this preview feature, but it's just all different tab management the way you want.
Instead of having to scroll through the thing at the top so I can find the tab I'm looking for.
Yes, so they're probably easier to read too if you have a ton of stuff open.
I end up declaring tab bankruptcy at some point.
Oh no!
Right? It's like just close everything.
Close all. I can't remember where anything is. You have everything open in 10 different places. You're like, oh, I thought this was going to hop there, but it's actually
Right? Object-oriented programming. I've got my C# going, and I need to bounce from file to file to file, and now there's 12 tabs open.
Totally.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right, vertical tab layout. I love it.
Yeah. So a couple other things we're really excited to talk about is go to base. This is alt home, so it'll go to the base type that another type is implementing, and it'll hop there.
I get it. Home base, alt home. Okay.
Yeah. So it's really quickly navigating references. We also have it in the right-click menu if you're learning it newly. We think it'll get a ton of usage. So we made it a main experience in the right-click menu.
Okay.
Another one, our interns made this one, and adding null checks is one of the most popular code refactorings, but we didn't have one for adding all null checks for all parameters. Now we do.
Okay, hang on. So interns wrote this, right? This is folks actually
last summer
working over the summer, learning while they're in college, helped us out and put something into Visual Studio.
Yeah.
See that?
They're smart kids.
See that? The kids helped us out there.
I mean, young professionals.
Young professionals, the young folks. Absolutely. That is terrific. And the null checks, that's actually a feature that helps out with C#8.
Absolutely. Good point.
That's called a segue there.
That's a segue. I should start showing C#8 stuff. So one of the new things in C#8 is nullable reference types.
Yes.
I can go ahead and turn this on. So it is off by default, so you have to enable C# enable nullable in your CS proj.
Right. The project file needs to have that. So even if you're not using Visual Studio, if you're working at the command line, you can still get this feature. Well, you can still get the nullable check.
Yeah. So your warnings will still show up in the command line, and that's what this does. So it actually made me get more warnings in my code. So now on one of my initializers, this is, I didn't really introduce this app. Oh, that's okay. On one of these initializers, one of the properties on this app, I am initializing everything except for one of these. It's just my description property. So now I'm getting a warning that I'm declaring a property, or I should consider declaring this property as nullable. And I do that by going up to the type and just adding a question mark.
Nice.
And as soon as I add that, so it gets rid of one warning. But now everywhere I call this property, and I think I might be doing it in an unsafe way, as if not getting a null check, or not having a null check before it, I'm going to start getting this handy dandy warning saying, hey, this property might be null here. So before, I would have to wait till runtime to see this kind of error. And now my compiler is actually helping me figure it out way ahead of time.
The tools, Visual Studio is ahead of the game, giving you those warnings. Nice.
Yeah. Another way that it could have helped me figure this out is I'm actually in a test right now, is turning on live unit testing and having that running in the background as I'm coding. So as I was implementing this and writing tests for it, I could have realized that one of my description nullable tests wouldn't have worked. And
live unit testing, hang on, let's just, for a second.
Let's talk.
It feels like one of those features that you should turn on even if you don't have unit tests, because it's going to do the compile check every time anyway, and you'll at least get a failure if you can't compile, right? To start,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Get those unit tests into the mix.
Like if you don't have a red squiggle for some reason,
right.
yeah, something will be failing. For sure. So live unit testing, again, dynamically runs tests in the background as I type, and it only runs the tests that are actually impacted by that code change. So when I put this here and I redo the question mark, you can see the live test got that clock icon, and it was rerunning the test in the background. And as I see it, I can see all of the tests that cover a specific line of product code. So when I hover it over it, I can also say I'm getting a null reference exception. So again, this is like me seeing that null reference at runtime.
Instead of waiting for continuous integration to throw an error, Kendra, you broke the build. No.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Oh my goodness.
So if I go ahead and add that null check, test reruns in the background because I just made a code edit, only the test that was affected, and now it's passing. Something I also want to point out here with live unit testing, I have a return statement after this if. And live unit testing is actually telling me that these lines of code aren't going to be run as part of the test. That's why they're getting these little blue glyphs instead of the green check marks. So it's also helping me figure out code coverage and what code is being run as a part of a test.
When I start seeing the blue glyphs, the blue hyphens there, I start worrying. It's like
panic.
Yeah, I need to start
Not
writing
panic.
more unit tests. No panic. We don't panic here.
We have everything under control.
Just the way we planned it out. Okay.
Yeah.
So we know about the check marks, the blue hyphen, of course the red X. That's something we need to avoid.
Yeah.
But great feature that's available. Is this only on Enterprise? Our friend Fossils in the chat room is asking.
Yes. Live unit testing is an enterprise-only feature.
Okay.
Yeah, here now, so you can check it out with that. Should I move on to the next thing?
Yeah, let's move on and take a look at some of the other features that are here.
So C# 7 introduced pattern matching, which means my equality operator over here could be overloaded. So I want to be using is instead because I know it's always going to be doing the right thing. And I use this equality operator a lot of times or throughout the rest of my code, but now that I've made a repeated edit, IntelliCode is actually picking up what edits I want to make in my code, figuring out the next places they could be applied, and actually giving me a message for that. So I can figure out where I could apply all of those edits, which is a super powerful feature.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So many of us might know IntelliCode from offering just like smarter dot completion.
Yeah, the little star in the completion dialog.
Yeah, when it loads. And we recently added overloads and as well as argument completion, which is new as well. So it's running over the variables in your current scope and actually offering you what you're most likely to use in one scenario.
I feel like now when I'm making calls into methods or I'm writing a new method and I start to specify all the arguments in there, that between IntelliCode and some of the other helper features in Visual Studio, I don't have to type much of my arguments. It's like I start giving it a little bit of a clue.
Yeah.
And control dot. It'll create my backing field, create the read-only property to go with it, et cetera, et cetera. Oh my gosh. And now we can do null checks with those automatically as well, as you showed us. Really, really cool.
Yeah, fast, intuitive coding. That's what we want.
Right. Let me focus on my business rules as a developer, and some of those things just make it easier to go away.
Yeah.
Right? Oh my gosh.
So another C# 8 feature, which I love, Indices and Ranges.
Yes.
So we basically changed we added a way that you could possibly reference or use an array in C#. So this is the indices operator.
Okay.
The little caret. And this actually counts backwards from the end of the array. So this is going to be the last thing in the array. This is a tweeting app. These are common topics that Dustin Campbell tends to tweet about. That's where this list came from. Anyway, the last thing in the list is Doctor Who.
Okay.
So this is the same as writing this line.
Yeah.
Which is way longer.
And to be frank, it's a little bit more readable.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, as soon as you're familiar with it, it's great. And so I can actually go ahead and look at the output of these lines because I don't really trust any of these newfangled features until I see them in printed to the console. But yeah, so this is where it's printing the last favorites. And here is we're using the the range operator, so that's those 2 dots. And this is like saying print up to the 3rd indices in this array. So it's printing the first 3 things because it's still 0 index, so 0, 1, and 2. And that's the top favorites that Dustin Campbell has. And here it's combining the 2 of them. So this is like saying up to the last item in the array.
Okay.
Pretty cool. Okay, so this is range and indices.
Now, we talked about nullables. I want to reflect over here. We have a question from the chat room, and if you're out there watching, drop some questions out there for us, and we're happy to take them here and see if we can get Kendra to help us out with it. This question is from Data Juggler, and they ask, is that nullable feature from C# 8 ever going to be a default project setting? Data Juggler doesn't particularly like it or want it, is why they're asking. They don't want to have to go through and, I guess, turn it off at some point in the future.
Yeah, so I'm not completely sure. I know we obviously didn't turn it on by default because we shared a lot of that sentiment, because it's going to add a lot of warnings and things in your code that you might not want to add all of those no checks and go back and everything because you've never run into a problem with them at runtime.
I can imagine going through looking at our .NET repositories and the Roslyn repository out on GitHub. If we turned it on by default in all of those projects,
yeah, it could be a lot of extra warnings. But one thing cool about it is that if you don't add that little question mark right here, the warning is actually only in the type where you're declaring it in that initializer that I saw earlier, and not everywhere you call. So it's configurable in that way. And also, all of the warnings and analysis and everything that we get, they are all configurable in your IDE. So you can absolutely suppress these, and you can even change the severity warning. So I could silence this. So I could still have it enabled, but silence it. So then it just disappears. So like it could still, and I could suppress it only for certain files. So we're very aware of wanting to dial up or dial down that as you need.
Yeah. So Data Juggler, there you go. You've got an answer. I hope that helps you out. And for the rest of you out there, if you are interested, you want to ask us some more questions, we had a link that just appeared below. Can we get the overlay to appear again?
Right where Jeff is pointing.
There it is.
There we go.
AKA MS Ignite Live. Drop us your questions. We're happy to talk about them and other questions for the other shows later in the day.
Totally. So we got a few more things.
Oh, fantastic. I love all the demos because
we love things.
I feel like when I'm using Visual Studio, I can learn something new each day, and if I can just remember to do it, the next day I'm that much more productive.
Ooh, good luck. That's a long time to remember things. I don't know.
Not that old, Kendra.
No, I did that. Okay. Anyway, let's go back to these .NET refactorings. They're really cool. So let's say I'm re-architecting a bunch of code. I can drag and drop files into new folders.
Okay.
And I will actually get a refactoring to help me sync my namespace and folder name.
Oh my gosh, I just hit this the other day about having to resync the namespaces and having to change them everywhere. Yes.
We get it. One second. I think my code analysis on this. There we go. So now it's detecting and actually reading my folder structure to give me the directories and to match my namespace, which is sweet. Oh, wow. I'm having some things happening up there. I think we should take a look at them. Why is this so loud?
Yeah.
Let's see.
What happened?
I actually don't know. Oh, hey, we added a code style rule for moving using directives. So a lot of people want them outside their namespace. Some people want them inside their namespace. We're not saying which one is correct. You can look at our code base. No, but we added a code style rule so you can at least enforce the consistency across your entire code base. So right now I have it set to moving to inside a namespace. If I wanted to change that, again, I could open these little dialog boxes and actually edit this and say, like, actually, it's fine outside a namespace or not. And I can change the severity from those dialog boxes as well. So I could change it back to be silent if I wanted to
Well, but if you do want to move it inside the namespace, what's important is that it is inside of it and it's properly tabbed over and you don't use spaces. Am I right here, Ignite stage area? Am I right? Tabs?
I see at least one tabs person out here.
Tabs.
He's shaking his head like.
Okay. The rest of them we're not going to talk to. They like spaces. So that is something you can configure as a code styling rule, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're actually working on better support for all of this. So here I have my indent styles and spaces. I guess to please the crowd, I should really be setting it here.
Thank you.
And something you might notice as you're going through all of this is you are now getting some help for whether or not your editor is currently set to spaces or tabs. And newly we've added mixed as well. So it'll let you know if your file is in a mixed state.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool. Which is,
yeah.
Oh, now I should reset this through either your editor or you can run a code formatter.
And it'll fix everywhere.
Yeah.
Nice. Now I noticed you do have some emojis in.
I have some fun emojis. Should I introduce this app and what it does, or just keep going?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. This is
we've
my
got
Twitter sentiment. And, oh, yeah. Oh, we got like no time.
No, you're good. Go
Okay,
ahead.
this is my Twitter sentiment analysis app. It grabs tweets, runs them through Azure Cognitive Services, and then I do a bunch, to get a sentiment score, so I can tell how happy or sad people are, which is some of the power of Azure. And I can search for emojis, and I built it out, and I search for how many exclamation points people are using. I can actually gauge excitement level with this switch expression for how many emojis they have. Or rather, this is a switch statement. If I wanted to convert this to a switch expression, which is new, we have a code fix for that too, new in C# 8. Switch expressions.
Very cool.
Coolness.
I've noticed that the sentiment analysis, the emoji for taco is highly positive.
Oh, interesting.
I've learned that. But thank you so much, Kendra. It's been great having you here.
Thank you, Jeff.
I've learned so much about Visual Studio 2019 features that I need to now start using on my stream and in my regular
We'll see if you
coding.
remember it tomorrow.
All right. Now, let's head right back out to the floor with my friend and reporter, Jeffrey Palermo. Hey, Jeff.
Doesn't matter how to fish.